The history of humanity is threaded through with the desire for light, for knowledge, for enlightenment, for the dissolution of mystery. But it has always been accompanied by an equally powerful desire to keep that light hidden from the uninitiated. Among all the secret societies that have ever existed, whether in reality or in the imagination, none provokes a stranger mixture of responses than the Order of the Illuminati. Genuine admiration for its progressive ideals in some, paranoid terror at the thought of a global conspiracy in others. What began as a local movement of Bavarian intellectuals in the 18th century became, over time, a global cultural phenomenon, a synonym for invisible power, for the hidden hand that guides the fate of nations. To understand the true nature of this organization, one must descend into the half-light of the Enlightenment era, strip away the layers deposited by pop culture and conspiracy theory, and ask how a handful of philosophers managed to become the central figures of modern mythology. The Order of the Illuminati, from the Latin illuminati, meaning the enlightened, was not the creation of ancient priests or mystical cults. It was born at a specific time and in a specific place. The 1st of May, 1776, in Ingolstadt, Bavaria. Its founder was Adam Weishaupt, a professor of canon law who, at the age of 28, had grown disillusioned with the dominance of the Jesuits over education and the rigid control of the Church over public thought. Weishaupt was a man of sharp intelligence and immoderate ambition. His goal was not world domination in the Hollywood sense. It was the creation of an intellectual elite capable of reforming society on the principles of reason, equality, and freedom. Bavaria at the time was a stronghold of conservatism, where any freely expressed idea could lead to exile or imprisonment. The secret order became the only vehicle through which Weishaupt could circulate ideas of deism and republicanism without fearing the Inquisition. The organization was originally called the Perfectibilists, the union of those who perfect themselves. Its structure was borrowed simultaneously from the Jesuits, whom Weishaupt despised but whose methods of discipline he admired, and from Freemasonry. Members were divided into degrees, used pseudonyms. Weishaupt himself took the name Spartacus, and practiced a strict system of mutual surveillance and confession before their superiors. It was a movement born of the Enlightenment's deepest conviction, that reason, applied with sufficient rigor and organization, could remake the world. The true ascent of the Illuminati began when Baron Adolf von Knigge joined the order. An experienced organizer, it was Knigge who helped Weishaupt integrate the Illuminati structure into existing Masonic lodges, a stroke of tactical genius. Freemasonry was already a respected and legally tolerated movement across Europe. By embedding themselves within it, the Illuminati gained access to its recruitment networks and used the lodges as an incubator for drawing in the most influential men on the continent. At the peak of its power, around 1782, the order counted up to 2,500 members, among them Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, the philosopher and theologian Johann Gottfried Herder, and the reigning dukes of Brunswick and Saxe-Weimar. The internal philosophy of the Illuminati rested on the conviction that humanity existed in a state of perpetual minority, kept infantile by the twin pressures of religion and monarchy. Once people became sufficiently enlightened, they believed, the state and the church would become unnecessary, and an era of universal brotherhood would follow. It was a utopia, but a radical one, aimed at the very foundations of the existing order. This was not conspiracy for its own sake. It was ideology in search of a delivery mechanism. The history of the real Illuminati was brief. Internal conflicts between Weishaupt and von Knigge steadily weakened the organization. Knigge was drawn toward mysticism and ritual. Weishaupt remained a pragmatic rationalist who had no patience for ceremony. Their incompatibility proved fatal. In 1784, the Elector of Bavaria, Karl Theodor, alarmed by rumors of secret societies plotting to overthrow monarchies, issued an edict banning all associations not sanctioned by the state. Raids followed. Documents fell into the hands of the authorities, revealing the Illuminati's methods of infiltrating government and their explicitly anti-clerical goals. In 1785, the order was declared illegal. Weishaupt fled Bavaria. By 1787, the Order of the Illuminati had officially ceased to exist. And it was precisely here, in the moment of the organization's death, that the legend was born. Within a few years of the order's suppression, the Great French Revolution erupted across Europe. For conservative thinkers and monarchists, the event was too vast and too bloody to be a spontaneous popular uprising. They searched for puppeteers. In 1797, two books appeared that together became the foundation of all modern conspiracy theory. The Abbé Augustin Barruel published his memoirs illustrating the history of Jacobinism, and the Scottish engineer John Robison released proofs of a conspiracy. Both argued the same thesis: the Illuminati had not disappeared but had gone underground, orchestrating the French Revolution from the shadows with the ultimate aim of destroying Christianity and every legitimate government on earth. Within this logic, the revolutionary slogan, liberty, equality, fraternity, became an encoded Illuminati summons. And from this moment the image crystallized: a secret society with unlimited financial resources, cells embedded in every key institution of power, and a long-term plan for what their documents had called a novus ordo seclorum, a new order of the ages. No discussion of the Illuminati proceeds far without the symbols. The most famous, the all-seeing eye, the eye of providence. Floating above a truncated pyramid on the reverse of the United States $1 bill. For a historian, this is a symbol of Christian origin denoting divine oversight, widely used by Freemasons, incorporated into the design of the Great Seal of the United States in 1782 by men who had, for the most part, no documented connection to the Illuminati whatsoever. For a conspiracy theorist, it is irrefutable proof that the founding fathers of America were instruments of Weishaupt's plan. The pyramid represents a hierarchy of power, its apex, the enlightened, permanently separated from its base, the masses. The 13 steps are linked historically to the 13 original colonies, but in Illuminati mythology the number acquires occult significance. The Latin inscriptions Annuit Coeptis, he has approved our undertakings, and Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages, read, to a conspiratorial eye, as a public declaration of conquest. The symbol has been on the dollar since 1935. The world has not ended. But the theory persists. In the 20th and 21st centuries, the Illuminati image detached entirely from its historical roots. The Illuminati became a catch-all term for any group perceived to exercise hidden influence, from the United States Federal Reserve to the world's most successful pop stars. Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Rihanna, and Madonna have all, at various points, used triangle gestures, eye symbolism, and occult aesthetics in their performances, generating endless online speculation about whether they have sold their souls. The more likely explanation is simpler: secret symbolism sells, and the artists and their teams know it. In the age of digital surveillance, the myth transformed again. The eye became an algorithm. The New World Order became a data center. The conspiracy adapted to the age, as it always has, because its core anxiety, that someone knows everything about you while you know nothing about them, maps perfectly onto the actual architecture of the modern internet. The psychological appeal of the Illuminati myth is not difficult to explain, and it is worth taking seriously rather than dismissing. The world is a chaotic, unpredictable place where accidents can destroy millions of lives. The idea that a secret group controls everything, even with malevolent intent, is, paradoxically, a comfort to the human mind. It replaces terrifying randomness with a structured plan. If there is a conspiracy, then history has a direction and a meaning. Furthermore, the myth appeals to the human desire for distinction. To believe that you have seen through the plans of the world government, that you are awake while the majority sleeps, provides an immediate sense of intellectual superiority that is genuinely satisfying, regardless of whether it is true. Adam Weishaupt died in 1830 in exile, virtually forgotten by his contemporaries. His order had survived barely a decade. And yet his ideas about the radical reordering of the world proved extraordinarily durable. The actual enlightenment the Bavarian Illuminati sought has, in many respects, already arrived. Monarchies fell, the church was separated from the state, and the scientific method became the foundation of civilization. In this sense, We all live in the world they were trying to build. But the shadow the order cast proved longer than the order itself. The Illuminati, today, is a permanent reminder of how dangerous, and how magnetic, the desire for absolute power through absolute knowledge has always been. Whether as a historical circle of dreamers or as a fictional shadow government, they remain the most luminous symbol of our eternal struggle between the hunger for truth and the fear of what truth might reveal. And as long as an eye inside a triangle shines from the back of the dollar, and as long as humanity searches for someone to blame for the injustice of the world, the legend of the Illuminati will survive, adapting to new centuries, new technologies, and new fears. Darkness has always needed light to be seen. And light has always needed a secret to seem sacred.